Hi, it's great to have you here this evening.
It's great to be here.
Tell me a little bit about your business. What is the value that your customers are going to gain from luxury learning?
Luxury Learning is a unique service that not only allows students a place to study, but also a place to enjoy themselves. Essentially, it's a coffee shop and tutoring or studying center combined in one. Students can mingle and enjoy coffee, all while having access to study resources like supplies and tutors in a lot of subjects. The service is extremely valuable to students because at this higher level of education, students often experience more difficult workloads. They're overwhelmed and especially in need of a pleasant place to learn that luxury learning can offer them. They should actually be able to enjoy studying while being surrounded by tools for success. Since it's not only a place to receive study help, but also a place to socialize and relax, luxury learning helps students combat the boredom that can set in during studying. The studying process flows over into a fun outing, restoring that difficult balance between school and social lives that students often struggle to keep. The purpose of luxury learning is to help reduce stress in the lives of college students and help them to feel less overwhelmed and more confident in school. Our tagline is actually study or socialize, choose both. The idea behind it is that students shouldn't have to choose. They shouldn't have to sacrifice everything they enjoy to do well in school. That would be silly. We're only here for so long, so it's important to enjoy life and not just be getting through it.
I'm very interested in your business idea. What made you choose it and why did you go down this path?
In high school and especially now in college, I've always focused best and enjoy studying most at coffee shops. I love the atmosphere of a coffee shop. People don't just come for coffee, they come to socialize and work. However, the best studying resources are typically found elsewhere. Generally, you aren't randomly going to find an expert on the topic you're studying just sitting next to you in a coffee shop. So I asked myself, but what if you could? I wanted to design something that was the best of both worlds.
So why is the coffee shop specifically the right direction to go for this business?
I've actually done a lot of research on this, both primary and secondary. In a survey I conducted of over 20 college students, the vast majority, over 90% actually, purchase coffee from coffee shops at least once a week. In fact, 45% of these respondents bought coffee or tea from coffee shops either multiple days a week or even daily. There's this trend happening in ready-to-drink coffee where people are going to the coffee shops and buying their coffee this way because they're also paying for the experience and the quality. It's likely not something they can make as well for themselves from their own homes. This is similar to the way the restaurant experience is viewed, where people go out to eat dishes that they can't really cook themselves the same quality and to have a fun social outing. By 2022, the ready-to-drink coffee industry is also predicted to increase by 67%. I really think that a coffee shop atmosphere is the right setting for this business. The part that I like most about it is that it's not completely silent. There's this ability to incorporate talking to people and socializing into studying, because taking breaks is actually crucial to success. The University of Illinois did a study where participants were tested on their ability to perform repetitive computerized tasks, and the groups in which the test subjects were given breaks actually performed much better. I'm hoping that students can use this environment to study in a more productive way by allowing themselves to take short breaks.
That's very compelling research. So has this type of thing ever been done before?
I don't believe so. Through my research, I haven't been able to find anything resembling my idea. While a lot of people agree coffee shops are an ideal spot for studying, I don't think anyone has actually tested this or tried to make it an even more ideal spot for studying by taking it to the next level and catering towards students.
So you just stated many people agree coffee shops are ideal for studying. Where did you find this information and who necessarily are these people?
So I'm referring to the survey I created and distributed in which almost 3/4 of college students either agreed or strongly agreed that they studied well in coffee shops. Almost 65% of these students also said that their preferred way of studying involved either background noise or listening to music, which works really well in a coffee shop setting. One of the students I interviewed at DU also said that she wasn't able to study well alone or in silence when I asked her about her studying habits. She said that situations like that made her feel uncomfortable, like she couldn't speak or ask questions or talk through ideas, and she wasn't able to stay focused when studying alone because no one was there to hold her accountable. When other people are around, she's able to be more inclined to work because they were working too.
How do you know it will work, and how do you know there's a market out there for your product?
So people have come up with ideas that they were really positive would work, and they've unfortunately failed. I don't want to jinx myself, but I really am confident in this idea. I think it would be really valuable to students as college continues to surprise even me with the sometimes unrealistically high expectations that it puts on students, including myself. Anything to relieve just a little bit of the stress would be worth it to me, and so I'm hoping it would be to other students as well. I think college students are the right market for me to target because I've gotten a lot of validation from them. When prompted about who the service would most apply to, 95% of survey takers said that it would be college students. And most of these responses were referring to all college students, but a significant amount also said more specifically that it would apply most to undergraduate students. So I think that college students definitely is the right direction for me to be moving in because of the elevated difficulty in material they're learning, but I'm not sure yet if it's all college students or just undergraduate students. That's still kind of up in the air. But I also received a really promising amount of responses saying that they would use the service. 90% of survey takers actually confirmed this. I was able to gather even more insight into this market by interviewing students at my school and asking them if they believed that a service like this would help reduce their own stress. And 8 out of the 10 of these students actually said yes, which is a really good amount. One of my interviewees talked about how with a service like this, he thought he would actually have time to do the things he enjoyed again by being able to study more efficiently.
So have you anticipated the possible strengths or weaknesses of your business idea?
I have anticipated some. I believe that one of the most prominent strengths that luxury learning offers is its efficiency. College students are so busy and generally don't have much time to spare. But this service puts study help and socialization all in one place. As for weaknesses, there's no guarantee that this will work because no one has ever done it before. At the current position that we're in, finance is also one of our main weaknesses because tutors can be really expensive and we don't know yet what is feasible with our available finances and resources and also how to monetize the business.
Okay, what opportunities and threats do you foresee affecting your business?
A huge opportunity that we can tap into is the trend itself that drinking coffee from coffee shops has become. There's a social aspect around drinking coffee at a coffee house that already exists and we can play off of. People already realize the value in this. However, luxury learning also faces threats in the universities themselves. This is perhaps where most of our competition may come from on the tutoring side of the business, since universities already offer a great deal of study help to their students, which is included in the price of tuition.
That is a very unique challenge you could be facing. What other outside factors do you foresee having a possible effect on your business?
I'm so glad you asked this. Mental illness is something that is becoming more accepted by society as an issue that needs to be talked about and addressed. These discussions are becoming far more common, and there's a lot of research showing that prolonged stress negatively impacts mental health and can even trigger mental illness like depression. Since my business aims to reduce stress in students and improve mental health, I think it is good that these conversations are becoming more prevalent. I also think another important outside factor to consider is technology and how this can influence my business since artificial intelligence is on the rise. Tutors may not even have to physically be at the cafe. They could be reached over live stream video that students could tune into. There are just so many possibilities out there as to what we could do with technology.
All right, well, this is my final question for you today. It's clear to me that you believe there's a market for your service, but how do you know that this service truly fits the market? And how do you figure this out?
By looking to outside factors is where I really discovered that my service does fit this market. I started researching mental health in college, and a recent study by the American College Health Association reported that More than 60% of college students had experienced overwhelming anxiety within the last year. Looking at this statistic, I had this moment where I thought, okay, this is where I can help. Based on this research, I conducted interviews of students at my school to see if my service would actually fit this market. I asked questions about how difficult college was, their struggles, if they felt pressures from college were unattainable, and most importantly, the state of their mental health since coming to college. The answers were somewhat upsetting. I was able to interview 10 people, and 3 of the 10 people I interviewed had actually been diagnosed and treated for clinical depression since coming to college. 2 of them actually held college itself accountable for this, while the other person said that there were other factors, but when the stress of college was added to the mix, her exact words were, "It all became too much, and I found myself breaking." College students actually need this service, which values stress reduction for the sake of their own mental health.
Well, I have very high hopes for your business. Thanks for coming in and for your time today.
Thank you, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about luxury learning.